So, school districts are facing this massive tech budget crisis. But what if all that pressure could actually unlock a smarter way forward? Today, we're diving into a really critical report from Bob Slovic over at Virtualization Options LLC. It shows how school districts can navigate this financial squeeze and, build a much better technology future for their students. All right, let's just start with a really stark number. Over the last 3 years, state and local governments have been slashing IT budgets by an average of 23%. Now, that's not just trimming the edges, right? That's a deep, deep cut that puts essential services and, frankly, any future projects on the chopping block. And this isn't some isolated problem affecting just a few places. A staggering 67% of K-12 school districts are feeling this exact pinch. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's 2 out of every 3 districts in the country trying to educate our kids for the future with yesterday's resources. It's a huge issue. And the result of all these cuts? Well, it's a $2.4 billion hole. That's how much deferred IT investment we're looking at nationwide. We're talking billions in necessary upgrades, security patches, and modern tools that our schools just can't afford right now. So you put all those numbers together, and the picture becomes crystal clear. This is a widespread financial crisis. It's putting this immense strain on the very technology that our entire modern education system, relies on to function. But here's the thing, this isn't just about aging servers or slow Wi-Fi. If you look beyond the budget lines, the real price of these cuts, well, it's paid by students and teachers in the classroom every single day. And this is exactly where an IT problem becomes a human one. When students can't get reliable access to digital tools, they fall behind. And this isn't about some minor inconvenience. It's about equity. These budget cuts are actively creating educational inequality that can stick with a student for their entire future. So, how does this actually play out for students? Well, a lot of the time, it's because schools are just stuck. They know their technology is failing kids, but they can't just switch to something better. It's about way more than a bad connection. It's about being trapped in a system that leads to lost opportunities. And this is why so many districts feel like they're trapped. They get locked into these relationships with IT providers by these huge exit barriers. We're talking about multi-year contracts with massive penalties, proprietary systems that don't play nice with anything else, and of course, the terrifying cost of trying to move all their data. So this becomes the absolute critical question for every superintendent and IT director who's feeling this pressure. The old way of doing things is clearly broken, and you're locked in. So, what do? What's next? Well, the report proposes a really fundamental shift in thinking. On the left, you've got the old way. Districts have to pay these huge costs up front, and they carry all the risk themselves. The solution, over on the right, is about building strategic partnerships. It treats technology like a flexible service with predictable monthly expenses, where the risk is actually shared. And this is how we get to a smarter IT strategy. This approach completely reframes the whole conversation. It changes IT from just another cost center into a strategic service, one that delivers real, measurable outcomes for students and for teachers. Now, while this strategy can help pretty much any district, it is absolutely essential for those facing the biggest hurdles. For our rural school districts, the whole digital divide isn't just a talking point. It's a daily reality where these budget cuts hit the absolute hardest. You see, rural districts face this kind of unique storm. They're dealing with spotty, unreliable internet, a real lack of local tech experts, and smaller student populations, which means they can never get the good pricing big districts do. It all adds up to make standard solutions impossibly expensive. But there's good news. New technology offers some real hope. Low Earth orbit satellites, or LEO satellites, are a total game changer. Because they orbit so much closer to Earth, they can deliver reliable, high-speed internet that makes modern online learning actually viable for rural schools for the very first time. Another key piece of the puzzle is something called edge computing. All this really means is bringing the processing power closer to the school, so you don't need a perfect internet connection all the time. And the benefits are huge. We're talking a 75% reduction in bandwidth needs and a 90% boost in uptime, because critical services stay online even if the main internet goes down. So you can see, these technologies, LEO satellites and edge computing, they aren't just some far-off ideas for the future. They are practical, actionable solutions that can start leveling the educational playing field for students everywhere, right now. The path forward that the report lays out is a really clear 5-step strategy. It's a cycle that starts with thoroughly checking out providers and then negotiating smarter, more flexible contracts. From there, it's about teaming up with other districts to get more buying power, investing in the right tech for your specific needs, and finally, building in a process to constantly review and improve. Ultimately, this whole thing is about moving away from a reactive position, just trying to fix what's broken, and toward a proactive strategy. It's about making deliberate choices that put student success at the absolute center of every single technology decision. And that really brings us to the fundamental question that every school leader should be asking themselves. Is your IT strategy actually preparing your students for the future, or is it locking them in the past? Because as this analysis shows, the technology in our schools isn't just supporting education anymore, it is the future of education.